All right, let's dive into a really beautiful and simple story from the one and only Ruskin Bond. It's all about a young girl, this one thing she absolutely treasures, and, a pretty powerful lesson about what actually matters in life. Okay, so this one line, this is pretty much the heart of the whole story. It comes right at the end, but it's the key to everything we're about to get into. It sounds so simple, right? But there's a whole world of meaning packed in there about generosity and, well, knowing when to let something go. So let's see how we get to this point. So, where does this all start? Well, like a lot of great stories, it kicks off with a character and something they desperately want. Let's meet our main character, a girl named Binya, and see the beautiful object that just completely captures her imagination. So first up, you gotta meet Binya. She's just a young girl living a simple life way up in the Garhwal Himalayas with her brother. She's totally at home out in nature. I mean, navigating lonely hillsides is no problem for her. But put her in a crowded town bazaar and she gets super shy and timid. And her most prized possession, really her only possession, is this lucky leopard's claw necklace that she wears all the time. And boom, this is the moment, the one that kicks everything off. While she's out herding her cows, Binya stumbles upon some picnickers, and there, just lying on the grass, she sees it, this small, delicate, bright blue umbrella. To her, it's not just an umbrella. It's like a great blue flower. It's just magical. The tourists, on the other hand, are totally fascinated by her leopard's claw necklace. They offer her money, but nope, she's not interested. She just points right at the umbrella. And just like that, the deal is done. She trades her deeply personal, meaningful lucky charm for this beautiful, captivating thing. And Binya is instantly, totally hooked. The umbrella is never just some object. It becomes her sidekick, her constant companion. I mean, this thing becomes like a part of her. You can always spot this little patch of sky blue silk following her everywhere on the hillside. And she almost never closes it because, as the story says, it wasn't beautiful when it was closed. It's completely cast a spell on her. But you know how it is. When something that beautiful shows up, it's going to get noticed. And yeah, Binya's new treasure starts to stir up some pretty powerful and complicated feelings in the people around her. And right at the heart of all this jealousy, that's Ram Bharosa, the guy who runs the local shop. The very first time he lays eyes on that umbrella, he's just blown away and tries to buy it on the spot. Binya, of course, says no. And from that second on, he's just captivated. And that fascination, well, it starts to get pretty dark. It turns into this really intense, desperate obsession. And here's the thing that's so interesting, right? This isn't about making a buck. When his shop boy asks him why he wants it so bad, Ram Bharosa basically says it has nothing to do with using it. He compares it to a poppy in a field or a rainbow. He cries out, "I want the umbrella because I want its beauty to be mine." It's pure possessiveness. He just can't handle the fact that this thing of beauty belongs to somebody else. And it's not just him either. The umbrella seems to bring out the worst in all the adults in the village. You've got the schoolmaster's wife who thinks it's just not right for a poor kid to have something so nice. Other folks admire it in secret, but then out loud, they'll gossip about how it's probably going to bring her bad luck. It's classic village envy, really. The only ones who are just straight up about loving it? The kids. They just think it's awesome. So this obsession, it gets so bad that Ram Bharosa does something he really shouldn't. He gets his young employee, Rajat Ram, to steal it for just 3 rupees. The kid waits for his chance, snatches it, and just bolts. A wild chase kicks off. Binya's fast, but her brother Biju's even faster. He tackles Rajaram and the whole story comes spilling out. It was Ram Bharosa's idea all along. Okay, so the bad guy's caught, the plot is exposed, story over, right? Nope, not even close. In fact, this is where things get really interesting, because what happens next isn't about revenge at all. It's something totally unexpected. And for Ram Bharosa, man, the consequences are brutal. Once the village finds out what he did, they just completely turn on him. Nobody comes to his shop anymore. The kids make fun of him, twisting his name, Ram the Trustworthy, into a cruel joke. He's totally alone, just miserable and full of regret. But here's the twist. Binya sees all this day after day, and she doesn't feel good about it. She actually starts to feel kind of responsible for how miserable he is. She starts questioning how much she loved that umbrella, asking herself this really tough question. Did I care more about this thing than I did about a person? So with that thought in her head, Binya does something that nobody, and I mean nobody, would expect. She walks right into Ram Bharosa's empty shop. She's his first customer in weeks. She buys one little toffee with a coin she has, and as she's turning to leave, she just leaves her precious blue umbrella right there on the counter. So, of course, Ram Bharosa is totally baffled. He sees the umbrella, runs after her, yelling that she forgot it, but Binya just shakes her head and says, "You keep it. I don't need it anymore." And when he argues back, saying it's the best umbrella in the whole village, she says the line, the one that defines everything. "I know, but an umbrella isn't everything." And that one act, that single, selfless gift, it changes everything. Binya's kindness is like a ripple effect. It doesn't just help him, it starts to heal the whole village and completely changes what that blue umbrella even means. And the change is like instant. Ram Bharosa's whole spirit just comes back to life. And when the villagers see this incredible change in him, they start coming back to his shop, welcoming him back. And the blue umbrella? He leaves it propped open right outside his shop for anyone in the village to borrow whenever it rains. So that one object that tore everyone apart with jealousy, now it's the thing that brings them all together. It belongs to everyone. And this is where the story just ties itself up in this perfect, beautiful bow. Ram Bharosa finds a bear's claw, which is supposed to be even luckier than a leopard's. He has it put inside a silver locket and gives it to Binya. In this amazing final act of gratitude, he's literally replacing the lucky charm she gave up at the very beginning. The circle of kindness is complete. And really, that's what this whole story leaves us with, right? This big question. Binya's journey from desperately wanting an object to truly valuing a person makes you think. It's a simple tale from the Indian Himalayas, sure, but its message about materialism, about forgiveness, and about the incredible power of one selfless act, well, that's absolutely timeless.